The anticipation and arrival of a new life. What could be more exciting and beautiful? It seems like this should be the most wonderful period in every expectant mother's life. However, sometimes life brings surprising and unexpected twists. Even the most carefully planned pregnancy or delivery can unfold in completely unpredictable ways, happening at the most unexpected moments. Let's explore some fascinating pregnancy cases and the incredible gifts of fate that awaited mothers after childbirth. Many believe that strenuous physical activity is not recommended for pregnant women. However, not all expectant mothers agree with this, like Haley, the first soloist of the Royal Ballet. It's hard to believe, but even at 8 months pregnant, she continues practicing her beloved craft. Her body is so accustomed to training that pregnancy does not hinder her at all. Following in her footsteps is Naisha, the European bodybuilding champion. Maintaining peak physical condition is both her job and her way of life, so even at 7 months pregnant, she hasn't stopped working out in the gym. Of course, everything is done under the careful supervision of an experienced trainer and a doctor, but let's be honest, keeping six-pack abs at such a late stage of pregnancy is no easy feat. More and more centers worldwide are redefining pregnancy and childbirth. One such place is in Hawaii, where great emphasis is placed on expectant mothers interacting with dolphins. Here, women spend a lot of time swimming alongside these intelligent creatures, learning to establish contact and understand them. Pregnant women at the Dolphin Center also explore their own nature, practice meditation, and learn to relax. As incredible as it sounds, they even prepare for water births with these loyal marine mammals. Sometimes it's not the mother who chooses the place of birth, but the baby. That was the case for Ada Alamillo. At 35 weeks pregnant and with medical clearance, she was calmly flying from Manila to San Francisco. However, at thousands of meters in the air, she unexpectedly went into labor. Her 13-year-old son quickly informed the flight attendants. Fortunately, there were 3 nurses on board who successfully helped deliver a beautiful baby boy. Have you ever thought about what else you could do while driving a car? Amanda McBride didn't just think about it, she took action. When contractions began at work, she immediately headed home and then, with her husband, set off for the hospital. However, there was one problem. Her husband didn't have a driver's license, so Amanda had to drive herself to give birth. But the baby wasn't willing to wait and was born right in the car while it was still in motion. This might just be the most desirable type of childbirth. Alice Payne was lucky enough to give birth to a healthy baby while asleep. It happened completely by accident. Doctors administered labor-inducing medication, but the contraction monitoring device malfunctioned. As a result, Alice was given a sedative to help her rest. She woke up just 10 minutes before the birth was complete, greeted her newborn son, and soon drifted back to sleep. If you think 12 hours of labor is long, prepare to be amazed. Joanna Krzonik endured a staggering 75 days of intense contractions to save her unborn babies. She was expecting triplets when, at just 21 weeks, she unexpectedly went into labor. Tragically, the first baby did not survive. In an effort to protect the remaining 2, doctors made the extraordinary decision to stop labor and place her in a bed tilted at a 30-degree angle with her legs elevated to delay delivery. This allowed the babies to grow and gain strength. Eventually, Joanna gave birth to a healthy daughter, Iga, and a son, Ignacy. This woman got lucky twice. Rebecca Roberts had struggled with infertility for a long time and had nearly lost hope when she finally received the wonderful news she was pregnant. Her joy was immeasurable, but 3 weeks later, she was in for another shock. She was pregnant again. An ultrasound confirmed the presence of 2 twins, differing in both size and gestational age. This rare phenomenon, known as superfetation, occurs when a second egg is released and fertilized during an already established pregnancy. Carrying the babies was not easy, but Rebecca successfully delivered a boy and a girl simultaneously. Born at 33 weeks, they spent some time in the hospital before heading home to a loving family. Most new mothers take their time before planning their next delivery, but Arifa Sultanova didn't get a choice. She had barely given birth to a beautiful baby boy when she was rushed back to the hospital with severe abdominal pain. What doctors discovered left them in shock. An ultrasound revealed that she had a second uterus in which twins, a boy and a girl, were already preparing to be born. While this condition is rare, Arifa was completely unaware of it as she had never undergone an ultrasound before. Mariam Nabatanzi from Uganda holds the title of the most fertile woman alive due to a medical condition. The 44-year-old mother has given birth to an astonishing 44 children, all from the same father, who eventually abandoned them. However, she only experienced 15 pregnancies, as many of them resulted in twins, triplets, and even quadruplets. She had her first child at just 13 years old, and today her eldest is 31, while the youngest is 6. Some of her children have already become parents, making Mariam a grandmother. The reason for her extraordinary fertility is hyperovulation, a rare genetic condition causing her ovaries to release multiple eggs at once. Though she once considered stopping, doctors warned that doing so could endanger her health, even her life. It's not surprising that twins can be born at different times, but Amy had to wait a whole 87 days for her sister to arrive. It all started when Maria Johnson Elliott went into labor at just 23 weeks pregnant, resulting in the birth of the first twin. She was very weak and weighed only 600 grams, but under constant medical supervision, she managed to fight for her life. Doctors prepared for the arrival of the second baby, but suddenly labor stopped and Katie remained in the womb. Nearly 3 months later, at 36 weeks, she was finally ready to be born and meet her sister. Although the older twin was initially much smaller than the younger one, by their first birthday, they had caught up to each other. Most people have heard of twins being born with different skin tones, but what happened to British couple Dean Durand and Alison Spooner surprised even scientists. In 2003, they gave birth to biracial twin girls. One, Haley, had dark skin like her father, while the other, Lauren, was light-skinned like their mother. Then, 7 years later, they repeated this rare event, having another pair of biracial twin girls, this time Mia with darker skin and Leah with lighter skin. This is an extraordinary case, as the odds of having two sets of twins with different skin tones are 1 in several million. In most cases, siblings share a strong bond, but when it comes to triplets, that connection can be even stronger. Nina, Gina, and Victoria have always been very close, but their joy grew even greater when they all became pregnant at the same time, and all with baby boys. What an incredible gift for their mother, who became a grandmother to 3 grandsons at once. If they do something, they do it together. This perfectly describes the life of twin sisters Carrie Bunker and Kelly Wall from the US. Not only are they best friends, colleagues, and neighbors, but they also gave birth to their children almost simultaneously. Incredibly, both of them had their first set of twins just a few months apart, and their second set of twins within a few weeks of each other. Talk about perfect coordination. The birth of identical quadruplets is extremely rare, with odds of about 1 in 64 million. But Jessica, Ellie, Georgie, and Holly were lucky enough to become the only such sisters in the UK. Although they were born at just 29 weeks and doctors were hesitant to make any predictions, they grew up to be healthy, strong, and inseparable. Last year, they celebrated their 18th birthday together. The birth of a child is always a miracle, so what do you call the birth of 5? Meet Alexandra Kanova, the first woman in the Czech Republic to give birth to quintuplets. Remarkably, she had no idea how many babies she was carrying until the very end, as doctors had initially told her she was expecting twins. Her delivery brought her 5 times the joy in one unforgettable moment. For years, the Walton family from England longed to hear the words, "You're pregnant." After 12 failed attempts, they were close to giving up when at 8 weeks, Janet was told she was carrying multiple babies. Even the doctors were shocked when the ultrasound revealed 6 tiny heads. Since the odds of such a pregnancy are 1 in 104 billion, she spent her entire pregnancy in the hospital under constant medical supervision. For the delivery, 7 medical teams were present, and she successfully gave birth to 6 healthy baby girls, making history. Years later, the parents still marvel at how they managed to raise them all, but they did it. Each of their 6 daughters has grown into a unique individual. In 2009, this woman made headlines worldwide. Nadia Suleiman, who already had 6 children via IVF by age 33, became pregnant with 8 babies at once, an almost unimaginable event. She had no husband and no job, yet she refused to consider abortion and decided to go through with the pregnancy. It was incredibly risky, but fortunately everything went well. On the scheduled date, Nadia underwent a C-section and gave birth to all 8 babies, who were able to join their older siblings 3 months later. This earned her the nickname Octomom, and she vowed to do whatever it took to provide for all her children. A 9-baby pregnancy is an extremely rare phenomenon, often accompanied by severe complications, making survival unlikely. However, Malian woman Halima Cissé defied the odds. She successfully gave birth to 9 babies, setting a world record for the most surviving infants from a single birth. She and her husband already had a 3-year-old daughter when they were informed she was expecting 7 babies. Due to high risks to both the mother and the children, she was transferred to a specialized clinic in Morocco, where she gave birth at 30 weeks. To everyone's surprise, doctors had missed 2 additional babies on the ultrasound, making it an unexpected but extraordinary moment. This little boy's story is a symbol of hope for many families. Michelle Butler was expecting twins and everything seemed normal until July 4th, 2020. At just 21 weeks pregnant, she went into premature labor, giving birth to a son, Curtis, and a daughter, Ciasia. Tragically, the baby girl did not survive, and Curtis's chances were less than 1%. However, thanks to dedicated medical care and his incredible will to live, he spent 275 days in intensive care. Finally, on April 6, 2021, Curtis was discharged from the hospital, not only proving his right to life, but also setting a world record as the most premature baby to survive. Looking at this incredibly strong and courageous woman, one cannot doubt the capabilities of the human body. Stacey Harold was born with brittle bone disease, a condition characterized by fragile bones and internal organ issues, which resulted in her height being only 71 centimeters. Doctors strictly forbade her from becoming pregnant as it was extremely dangerous. However, she ignored their warnings and successfully gave birth to 2 daughters and a son, each born separately. Unfortunately, 2 of them inherited her condition, while the middle daughter was born completely healthy. Of course, all of her pregnancies were incredibly difficult, not to mention the challenges of caring for and raising children. Stacey was fortunate to have a devoted husband who took on all household chores and most of the childcare responsibilities. Pregnancy knows no age limits. This perfectly describes the story of 73-year-old Aramati Mangama from India. For 57 years of marriage, she was unable to conceive naturally. At 72, she and her husband decided to try IVF. To everyone's surprise, the doctor agreed to this highly risky procedure, which led to a successful pregnancy. At 30 weeks, she delivered healthy twin girls via C-section, but remained under medical supervision for some time due to the associated risks. Thus, not only did Aramati fulfill her lifelong dream of becoming a mother, but she did it twice. She also set a world record as the oldest woman to ever give birth. Surrogacy has long been a wonderful option for couples unable to have children. However, this case was truly extraordinary. The Cosino couple had been struggling to conceive when an unexpected solution presented itself. 56-year-old J.C. Dallenberg, the woman's mother, offered to carry their baby. After 2 years of attempts, despite her age and menopause, she successfully became pregnant with triplets. Although the birth occurred 2 months earlier than expected, everything went well, and 3 identical baby girls were born. The fascinating world and its modern technologies continue to amaze. Scientists have learned to intervene in the mystery of conception, controlling factors such as the birth date, the number of children, and much more. Who knows what other incredible possibilities are yet to be discovered and what new breakthroughs in childbirth might emerge?